Hello, you wonderful people. So for today's video, I'm going to talk about this season 3 trailer that's come out for Batwoman. If you haven't seen it already, I'll include a link to it in the description down below. But obviously the main crux of this story seems to be revolving around gathering up all the other Batman trophies that kind of got ran wild at the end of season 2. So that's definitely going to be interesting. It seems like based on what we saw in the trailer, they get Poison Ivy's plant early on. But I am curious, like, how much havoc is it going to cause beforehand, and even if they do get it under containment, is there going to be like a small piece that's still out there? Like, because a lot of these villains they're associated with, you can only assume they're locked up at the time. But obviously, like, it seems like, at least based on the trailer, because maybe this is just early on, we have like the Mad Hatter, which I think is definitely going to be interesting. Because what my mind thinks, especially with Alice and the whole Alice in Wonderland, I wonder, is he going to start up the Wonderland gang again? Because I wonder, is he someone that's actually inspired by Alice? Because, you know, which is interesting, like, comparison to, like, Gotham, where you have, like, it potentially being people that were inspired by Jeremiah, the pseudo Joker before his twin brother ended up becoming the Joker in Gotham, that whole thing. So, like, I wonder, is, like, did Alice inspire some crazies in Gotham, and is he one of them? Because, like, he finds the hat. Well, good, obviously the hat already exists and it was already locked up, so it's like, so the Mad Hatter already has kind of been taken off the board. But I wonder, is this going to be set up of, like, legacy acts, in the sense of, like, I mean, well, we met Riddler's daughter Enigma last season, so are we gonna find other children of supervillains? I mean, because I didn't even realize this. I mean, obviously we met Stephanie Brown and her situation, which I didn't realize at the time. I now know because of Titans. I didn't realize that she was a future Robin, and it's like, oh, that's kind of crazy, a future Robin with a supervillain for her dad. Not too crazy, but was it God, what was his name again? Quizmaster? I'm gonna have to correct myself in the annotations, but I forgot what her father's name is, like his supervillain name. Cluemaster, I believe it's what it is, if I'm not mistaken. So, makes you wonder, will that kind of come back in any shape or form? But they have introduced, like, these legacy acts to a certain extent. So it's like, the dude who picks up the mantle of Mad Hatter, is he just some random dude that found a hat? Or could he be Mad Hatter's son or something like that? I'm curious. Because he could be trying to, like, break Alice out later on to be like, hey, let's work together. Like, either you inspired me, or, like, I'm all about the madness and you're about the madness. We're the perfect fit. Because I'm also familiar with the character of Mad Hatter because of his whole, his whole Alice situation in Gotham is a very different situation, because obviously in that, like, him and Alice were related. That was his sister. They're two very separate people in this. But obviously Alice has been remanded to, like, be in Ryan's care. I wonder how did that get swung, or maybe that's just kind of like, because Ryan was there, so I'm like, I guess who she's getting, like, stuck with, I don't know, like how she was able to swing that deal too. I don't know, maybe that was more so like on Ryan and them's part, because, well, at the end she was like, oh, about your mom and everything, so it's like Ryan has no choice but to work with the person she wants nothing to do with. But Alice has gone through some changes since last season, so I am curious, like, how much of that's going to carry over, like her resentment of, like, right, you locked me up and everything. Granted, you're better now because you know Kate's alive, you know she's out there, but it's also probably like, well, my sister's not coming to get me, Dad's not going to, oh, well, Jacob's got his own issues to deal with currently, so that kind of comes as no surprise. So we're going to probably be dealing with a lot of that. With him kind of out, well, the Crows are kind of out anyway, so I think we'll probably see the GCPD, like, a lot more enforced. I'm curious to also know, like, what kind of effect that's going to have on Gotham now that the Crows are gone. Yeah, they were bullies and they were power tripping, but, you know, that power vacuum being opened up, you know, can lead to a whole other set of issues. But I'm excited. We do see what I was like, is that Killer Croc? Is that actually Killer Croc, or did someone, like, take the tooth and, like, re-engineer it to make themselves like Killer Croc? Because I believe his tooth was one of the items last season, so I'm like, I don't know. It looked like it was like a massive creature or something that Ryan was, like, jumping on top of, so that's definitely going to be interesting. But also, like, she's not having to go at this alone. Like, that would have been bad enough, but she's got Luke helping her as Batwing, so that's definitely gonna be interesting to see, like, oh, like, that's gonna be really interesting, because, like, we don't really typically see Batwoman out in the field with help, so Luke filling that role a little bit is definitely going to be interesting, especially she's going to be working with Alice. She's probably going to be out in the field a little bit herself. What's also interesting too is, like, the main thing you see like at the end of the trailer, and they've kind of showcased this, is Arkham Asylum. So I'm wondering, is that going to play an even bigger role? Like I said, are we going to get like some legacy acts, but like, are we going to get some, you know, big names like breaking out of Arkham as well? Like, obviously, you know, Alice isn't going to stay caged for too long, so it's definitely going to be interesting to see where this season goes. I'm very excited to see. Obviously, these are just some of my thoughts. I'd love to get to know yours in the comments down below. What are some things you expect to see this season? What are some things you want to see? I didn't even talk about it. We do see Robin Givens showing up in this, and then like some other random dude, and I'm like, is that going to end up being her biological mom? And did her biological mom go off and have other kids? Like, very similar to like Iris and Wally situation. Like, I'm wondering, which that's going to be a whole can of worms for Ryan to deal with. Like, if her mom went off and ended up going off and having a whole other family, like, that's going to rub her the wrong way. But that's going to be a lot that she'll probably have to deal with, if that ends up being what that is. But I was just kind of like, oh, got someone very specific like Robin Givens. That's why I'm like, that feels like that. Not unless she's playing a different character, not unless she's like the mayor or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, I went on a tangent there. I do apologize. Like I said, just let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But really, that's all I want to talk about. So the next time we meet, be happy, be safe, live life to the fullest, and enjoy it. Good day and goodbye.